You know, if it's one thing I'm trying to figure out, it's this. When is enough going to be enough? We've been watching as the last 13 days, seeing as how PlayStation has said absolutely nothing about their entire debacle July 1st when they announced they were no longer going to be producing physical discs for their games inside of 2028. We also found out as well that if your game is released before 2028 and you need a reprint of that game physically, well, you can still get it, which exposes the fact that PlayStation is still going to be able to make physical discs, ship them in a box, and put them on store shelves, even if you need more copies to sell, as long as it's out before 2028. Surprise! It's almost like they've been lying to you the entire time. But you see, it doesn't just stop there. Every single post, every single video, every single time that PlayStation says anything on the internet, what happens? Their entire post, their entire video is full of comments, replies, getting brigaded, getting community noted, having things being said like no disc, no buy. It's gotten so bad that if you go on PlayStation's live streams and you say, "Where's my physical disc?" you will be blocked from the entire chat and even the actual stream. Isn't that fun? But there's a reason why I say when is enough going to be enough, because even though us consumers are putting pressure onto this brand, onto this company, making an example out of them about what actual ownership truly defines and what it is, it's not going to be enough for our side. And I truly believe that if you want actual ownership of your games, whether physical or digital, you should be supporting Stop Killing Games. It's one of the best actual consumer advocacy groups I've seen right now that I'm also a part of, that I truly believe is going to be a great first step in making sure you own your games, either physically or digitally, and that's going to be a perfect example. And what really drives me crazy about this is the fact that in 20 years, PlayStation, even Xbox, and even Nintendo still do not understand why other companies like Valve and even GOG are completely 100% all digital, yet don't experience the same kind of backlash that they're getting right now. And the answer is simple. These companies like PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox, and even Nintendo do not put you as the consumer first. They put your pocketbook, they put your money, and they put trying to screw you ahead of you as an actual customer. And that is the craziest part. And that is exactly what everybody is seeing. And that's why I support movements like Stop Killing Games and so many other ways of owning your games digitally and physically as well. And I've heard this entire excuse like, "Oh, Alex, even if you buy the game physically, it's still a license on the disc." Sure, some games are like that. Many games require a download. Many games require to be online to even play, even after you have the disc. The difference, though, is this. The majority of games on PlayStation, the entire game is literally on the disc itself. The 1.0 release version is on that plastic. It's on that Blu-ray. And if you lose internet, if you lose connectivity, or even lose your account, you can put that game into your PS5 and still play that game. Actual ownership. But if PlayStation wants to put people inside of a digital marketplace, they're going to have to learn what actual digital ownership is. And clearly, they don't know a goddamn thing about it. But you know what? It turns out PlayStation and even Sony are going to learn one way or another, the easy way or the hard way. And it turns out they're going to learn the hard way. Because according to Insider Gaming saying this, Sony is staring down a $457 million lawsuit as disc deletion decision lingers. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. The day of rapture has finally begun for PlayStation. It looks like their entire idea of 90 million consoles sold, all the fanboys trying to defend them on the internet, and everybody else basically brigading them over and over, has caught the attention not only of the mainstream media, but also massive governing bodies. We're talking multiple countries. We're talking multiple lawsuits being launched, all at PlayStation, all at the exact same time because of this one decision. Literally, PlayStation stepping on the world's biggest rake, making Sideshow Bob look like a side character. And when you see the list of countries and governments all going after PlayStation at the exact same time, you're going to see some real serious when this baby hits 88 miles an hour. With the article saying this, it was recently discovered that a Dutch consumer group had filed a massive lawsuit against Sony that aligns perfectly with the tech titan's recent decision to scrap physical production of new PlayStation games from January 2028. No more discs will be printed for games released after January 2028, a revelation that threw gaming industry into disarray. The group Stitching Massachade and Consument claims to have filed the lawsuit on behalf of a whopping 1.7 million Dutch PlayStation users, and it's seeking $457 million in damages for exorbitant prices in the PlayStation Store. This wouldn't be the first time such a lawsuit has succeeded against Sony if it were to go all the way. The lawsuit, which Stitching Massachade and Consument invites all consumers to join, states clearly, you are paying too much for PlayStation games. Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's so funny how it turns out that all these consumer groups who even saw what was happening last year decided to file these lawsuits all see the writing on the wall. It's kind of crazy how nobody else in the fanboy side of PlayStation can see this, but everybody else in fact does. The variable rate pricing, charging you different prices, showing you different things, and charging you even more money and reducing the discounts you pay, all because they want to make more money in their back pocket. And they'll use every excuse in the book to do it, and it's honestly insane if you ask me. The fact that PlayStation even admitted on their own that they're going to be monetizing their users even harder and more than before because of the RAM crisis. I think they're using the RAM crisis as a dummy cover-up just to go ahead and pull more money out of your back pocket. But the thing is, the Netherlands aren't the only country that are going after PlayStation. It looks like Brazil is also in this space as well. Because just a few days ago, according to The Gamer, Brazilian politicians proposed their own Stop Killing Games bill and investigation into Sony. Federal Deputy Jandira Fagali recently proposed a new bill directly inspired by the Stop Killing Games movement that aims to prevent online games from ceasing to exist when official support comes to an end. The bill stipulates that publishers must clearly inform customers about a game's reliance on online servers at the point of sale. Furthermore, they must also outline the minimum support period, which cannot be less than 2 years from a game's launch in Brazil. It also says publishers must inform consumers about any termination of service no less than 180 days in advance, notifying players in the game itself, on official social channels, and through other means. Brother, let me tell you, when you're looking at so many other countries, even though right now we've only gotten to 2, and trust me, there's 2 more, and the other 2 are even more vicious than what we're seeing right now, and we're watching the entire planet look at Sony and PlayStation and say, you know what? You done goofed. You done screwed everything around the entire bracket, all because you wanted to be the greediest corporation you can possibly be, over monetizing your users, putting everybody out over a barrel, and shipping everyone outside because all you wanted to do was monetize every single user. And that's really what angers me the most about this. We're looking at a multi-billion-dollar corporation as the entire gaming industry bends the knee to this corporation all the time, watching and saying, oh, well, you gotta buy your PS5 Pro for $900 or else you can't play the game in the best possible way. Greatness awaits. You know what awaits? Them reaching into your pocketbook and trying to rip you the f*** off every time. And the thing is, like I said before, this isn't just about PlayStation. It's about every other company doing this as well. The problem is, they're simply boiling the frog. PlayStation just said, here, have a hot pot of water, buddy. Enjoy it while it lasts. And that's exactly what's been going on. Hell, even Xbox had to deal with this as well. And guess what? They got sued by the person whose account they went ahead and deactivated. Guess what country that guy's from who won that lawsuit? Brazil. With Windows Central reporting this, Xbox fan successfully sues Microsoft for blocking his entire digital games library in what could be a huge win for consumer rights. Brazilian Xbox player Ordo Liberal recently won a court case against Microsoft proving you can fight for the right to preserve digital ownership of your games and win. And this is why it's so important not to take the pressure off. This is why it's so important not to go ahead and stop replying or community noting or even going after PlayStation in every post they make. They have to fight this battle in two specific courts, the court of legality and the court of public opinion. And I'll tell you right now, they're probably, in my opinion, going to lose both. Because if you have an entire public outcry telling you that this is all wrong, you're doing the wrong thing, and then you have multiple governments going around with an entire caseload in front of you with almost $1 billion in your face staring down the barrel, literally things are not going to go your way. But the thing is, we're not even done yet. No, it turns out other countries are also trying to sue PlayStation as well. With Niche Gamer on Twitter saying this, Mexican lawmakers are filing an antitrust complaint against PlayStation's digital-only future. The lawmakers argue that eliminating physical PlayStation releases would effectively force consumers to purchase all new games through the PlayStation Store, giving Sony exclusive control over digital distribution for both first-party and third-party titles. According to the complaint, the move would reduce competition, leading to higher game prices, as retailers would no longer be able to compete with Sony on new releases. The lawmakers also warn that the decision would eliminate the secondhand games market, preventing players from reselling, lending, or collecting physical copies. Beyond consumers, the legislators argue that publishers and developers would become increasingly dependent on Sony's platform, pricing policies, and distribution infrastructure. And you know what's funny? I never even thought about that last point overall. Think about it when you have a quick second, by the way. This isn't just about PlayStation wanting control over the product front to back and getting more money and not paying out a 30% cut to anybody else. No, this is about complete control of every game on their storefront, on their platform. They get to choose the pricing, they get to choose the breakdown, they get to choose when it goes on sale, they get to actually make variable rate pricing, and they get to restrict you by making you purchase that game digitally and also be online to check in for 14 days before you actually own that license, when in reality, you don't even own it because they can take it away from you at any time. And hell, once you download that game, you can't even refund it. So literally, what are we getting? Nothing in return. We're getting all a bunch of scraps and garbage across the board. PlayStation could easily fix this problem and rectify everything. All they have to do is call up Valve and say, yo, Gaben, what do we gotta do, bro, to get this fixed? And he'll say, I don't know, have a good refund policy for sake. I don't know, actually provide ownership for the people who purchase your products. If they buy the game and it's on their account, they don't need a 14-day DRM mandatory online check-in to verify it. Which in reality, if they just did that, people wouldn't be so pissed. We wouldn't be sitting in this situation right now. It could have been the easiest W for this company overall. And it's so crazy to see how every company would rather do the most insane, corpo-blasted possible thing rather than just saying, you know what? Give the people what they want. Give them cheaper prices. Give them ownership. Give them a refund policy. And put the trust in the consumer, because in the end, the money from the consumer is whose money you're trying to get. But are we done? Nuh-uh. Not at all, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even close to being done. If you thought that 3 countries suing PlayStation was enough, baby, get ready for the 4th. Because according to VGC saying this, quote, removing discs doesn't represent progress. The UK's Entertainment Retailers Association says Sony's decision to stop making PlayStation discs is a triumph of corporate convenience over consumer choice. Saying, quote, every year, millions of gamers still choose to buy physical copies because they value true ownership. A disc can be shared with family, traded in, collected, preserved, and crucially, still played years from now. A downloaded license often offers none of those freedoms. Consumers deserve the freedom to choose how they buy their entertainment. Removing discs doesn't represent progress. It simply removes choice. That's bad for gamers, bad for retailers, and ultimately bad for the long-term health and preservation of our games industry. Ooh, spitting bars, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I love to see. We have Brazil going after PlayStation with Stop Killing Games in tow. We've got the Dutch going after them as well. We've got the UK telling them, hey, listen up here, brother. This is not going to go the way you think it is. And you're removing actual ownership from people who don't have internet access and are choosing to own their physical games as well. And finally, you've got Mexico going after them too. Literally 4 of the biggest countries on the planet that are all the majority PlayStation gamers, telling this one company, you are buddy. But things may get bad for PlayStation, and I mean real bad for PlayStation, because it's not just the lawsuits, it's not just the government mandates, it's not just Stop Killing Games, and it's certainly not the EU who's tucking their tail between their legs and telling people they can't tell PlayStation what to do, even though they've gone around and forced Nintendo to make replaceable batteries inside of their own hardware. Oh yeah, they've done all that, but they're not going to tell Poppy PlayStation to do anything, are they? No. And when I tell you it's going to get worse, I, in fact, mean it. You see, yesterday I covered the fact that there are now multiple PS5 emulators in development at this moment in time. The thing is, though, I don't think you or I or anybody else is ready to see the kind of progress they've made in just 24 hours. With videocards.com also tweeting this: the PS5 emulator reaches GTA 5 menus. The first 3D games are now loading on PCs. Only 2 days after our report on the growing PS5 emulation race, one of the projects has shown further progress. Kaitai PS5 can now boot the PS5 version of GTA 5 and reach its menus and settings. Quake 2 has also been reaching gameplay, although neither results indicates that the games are playable from start to finish. The project's GitHub page has also been updated with screenshots of Power Wash Simulator and Pac-Man World running in-game. Both of these are commercial 3D releases, moving Kaitai PS5 beyond the 2D titles and startup screen demonstrated by several PS5 emulators last week. These are among the first commercial 3D PS5 games publicly shown rendering gameplay through this project. And the reason why I bring this up is incredibly simple. Going from a Demon's Souls boot screen all the way into going into game and into menus on games like GTA 5 on the PS5 version, and even getting to play the game, is actually insane within just 48 hours. Everybody is scrambling because they know in a year and a half, you're not going to have any ownership whatsoever. And here's the part that PlayStation conveniently forgot, even though they have a history of making DRM like Securom. Don't forget that one? Yeah, if you know about that, your knees crack when you stand up. I know mine do. Securom was the first major DRM that Sony even put out and forced onto many other PC games. They know all about PC piracy. They know all about emulation. They literally lost that lawsuit all those decades ago against their PS1 emulator of Bleem. Literally, they are actually reliving their own past right now in front of them. Not only do they have just one company doing it, now it's going to be multiple people on GitHub source pages. So yeah, this is going to go bad for PlayStation over and over for the next year and a half, and it's going to be pretty insane to see. This company is doing everything they possibly can to screw you, get every single piece of cash they can, and even then give you zero ownership of your actual titles. What they need to do is rectify this immediately, give you a refund policy, give you digital ownership, and even then secure their storefront and make sure things are done correctly for you as a consumer and customer before you give them any money whatsoever. Until they do that, well, keep posting, keep replying, keep community noting, and let them know they're going to lose this war on both fronts. But you know what? I want to hear what you guys got to say about this in the comments section down below. Do you think PlayStation is finally going to fold? Do you think these lawsuits will go into effect and PlayStation will lose? Or do you think in some way they might even get past this and we'll be stuck up the creek without a paddle? I want to hear what you guys got to say about this in the comment section down below. And speaking of which, here's the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Thunderman 2001 saying this: the gaming industry will learn soon that they don't control us, we control them. No ownership equals no money. Sunderman, you are 100% absolutely correct. The more they realize that the less ownership they give us, even if it's physical or digital, the less money we're in fact going to be giving this company overall. Everybody put their trust into PlayStation after that PS4 generation of how to share your games. And what they've done was metaphorically put the knife in the back of every user they've earned after that video went up and after their announcement of the PS4. If PlayStation actually wants to be brought back and actually have these customers be there for them, well, they're going to have to make sure that greatness actually awaits when greatness is in fact owned. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you like this video and you want to see even more of this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. I've got more gaming news, more hot takes in the gaming industry, more PC port reviews, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and even live streams every Saturday night live, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. If you want Discord access or emotes during those live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't even sweat it. Like I said before, just show up Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel as I wear a banana suit and get insulted by all my viewers with text-to-speech. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's actually pretty insane and a hell of a lot of fun. You're going to like what you have to see. Saturday nights live, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Do you want to see even more of me though? Check out Oh No It's Alex Gaming. The link to that channel is in the description down below. New videos are posted every single Monday, and I live stream there daily as well. If you're watching this right now, I'm also probably streaming. Check it out. We're playing Black Myth Wukong as my chat totally trolls me about what to do, where to go, and then I just crash out and get made fun of all over again. There's a theme here if you haven't noticed. I let the chat run the show. It's a lot of fun for you guys. Me, not so much. For you, a lot of fun. So definitely check out Oh No It's Alex Gaming. Like I said before, link to that channel is in the description down below. And go ahead and come on down, hang out as I get you through your workday. With all that being said though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one. And I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!